There was a boy once. His name was Marcus. He wasn't born broken. He wasn't born angry or lost or fractured at the seams. No, he started off the same as anyone else. A child with wonder pooling in his eyes, always asking why, always dreaming in colors that hadn't yet been named. But the world? The world didn't care about that boy, not in the way he needed it to. His father would come home late, loud, stumbling, full of rage that had nowhere else to go but down. His mother would disappear into silence, retreating into rooms that felt like tombs. Marcus learned to tiptoe through the house, memorizing every creak in the floorboards like they were landmines in a war he never signed up for. The dinner table was a battlefield. Words were thrown like knives, sharp, precise, designed to wound. And no one ever said sorry. No one ever said, "We're hurting you." No one ever said anything real at all. But what damaged Marcus most wasn't just the trauma itself. It was the denial of it, the pretending, the forced smiles in public, the way everyone acted like nothing was wrong, like the screaming last night never happened, like the bruises on his mother's wrists were just clumsiness. That gaslighting of reality itself, that became the poison. You see, a human mind is resilient, remarkably so, but it's not invincible. Trauma doesn't just sit quietly in memory like a photograph in a drawer. It embeds itself in the body. It warps the nervous system. It rewires how someone sees the world, others, and most tragically, themselves. It teaches a child that they are not safe, not worthy, not even real. And over time, that child grows. The wounds grow with him. The mask grows with him. By 17, Marcus became charming, funny. He learned how to read people, how to shape-shift into whatever they needed him to be. A chameleon of the soul. He became a master at it. And yet underneath, he was empty, hollow, like a room abandoned after a fire. Walls still standing, but the soul long gone. That's what unprocessed trauma does. It splits the self. Carl Jung once said, "The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents." Marcus inherited that tragedy, not just in genetics, but in the silence, in the suppression, in the cold, suffocating legacy of emotional neglect passed down like cursed heirlooms. He didn't go crazy in a flash. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't sudden. By 23, it started with insomnia, the feeling that something was always wrong, even when everything seemed fine. Then came the paranoia, the rage, the self-hatred that felt like swallowing glass. He couldn't trust anyone, not even himself. Relationships turned into minefields. He'd push people away and then beg them to stay. Love became a battlefield where he played both soldier and saboteur, destroying the very thing he desperately wanted. At 25, he tried therapy once, sat across from a stranger in a beige room and told them he couldn't feel anything anymore, that his dreams didn't make sense, that sometimes he would look in the mirror and not recognize the man staring back. They told him it was anxiety, depression, maybe PTSD, but labels couldn't touch the real monster. Leaving the voices, started seeing symbols in places that made no logical sense. He called them patterns. He thought the universe was speaking to him directly, not metaphorically, but literally. Every radio ad, every glance from a stranger, every flicker of light in a dark hallway became a message coded just for him. What was really happening? His mind, starved of order and meaning, was creating it in the chaos. It was trying desperately to make sense of what had never been resolved, to find control in a world that felt uncontrollable. That's the cruel trick of unresolved trauma. It doesn't let you rest. It doesn't let you forget. It disguises itself as anxiety, as anger, as spiritual awakening, even as mystical insight. But behind all of it, behind every delusion, every paranoid thought, every voice in the dark, there's a child screaming, "Please notice me. Save me. Help me." But by then, it's too late. Because the world doesn't understand madness. It fears it. It turns it into spectacle, into entertainment, into tragedy. And Marcus, like so many others, became another cautionary tale, another statistic, another what went wrong. But here's what they don't understand. He didn't go crazy because he was weak. He went crazy because he was strong for too long.